So this is one of the large garden salads that I picked out when I went with Mom to a trip to Wegmans the other day. I had another of these salads earlier, and at last this is one of the 1 liter bottles of antioxidant for smart juice. I picked it out at Wegmans the other day because I figured it would be something pretty healthy. It's got a considerable amount of sugar, but it's a lot less than what you would find in typical soft drinks such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And none of that sugar is added, so it comes naturally from the real fruit. Which I believe is the healthiest kind of sugar you can have, since fruit comes with some very healthy things such as vitamin C and vitamin A, although in that respect, apple juice is superior to, orange juice is superior to apple juice because orange juice tends to have a lot of vitamin C while apple juice doesn't. At least based off my own experiences. This is my city in Elvenar. I believe I at last got up today around noon, roughly speaking. And during the day, I didn't really go on Elvenar at all because I was more preoccupied with, in the afternoon, working on that new styrofoam drawing I started the other day. And then in the evening, from 5 to 6 p.m. roughly, I made a Ruffman gameplay of Linkovision. Essentially a sort of puzzle game is how I would define it, in which you're supposed to figure out essentially what connections between different animals using characteristics they share. That video so far has gotten 12 views according to the channel dashboard in roughly 10.5 hours. Yeah, that's what the channel dashboard tells me. The video neutral response is currently, imbalanced by nearly 20,000 more dislikes than likes, although this is based off of a restore YouTube dislike extension I installed for Microsoft Edge. I believe within the first hours of today. It doesn't have the API anymore, so it kind of has to make estimations. And my guess is that's more likely to be causing the imbalance rather than a whole bunch of people disliking the video all of a sudden to compensate for not being able to see the public discounts, the public dislike counts officially. This tastes pretty good. Purple carrot. Where does that come from? Haven't really heard of purple carrots much. This is where I'm at currently in regards to getting the prizes for gifts. I think these winter-themed buildings stick out like sore thumbs in my city, because the city blocks are kept green even during this special winter design. If they also change the grass to be snow, maybe it would make more sense, but even then it wouldn't really fit in with all the other building kinds. Oh, nice to get some extra mana. It gives an idea of how this particular event works. I recall at some point earlier on today making this was within the first hours of today, roughly speaking. Going on to the most recent version of Rapper Offline, I currently have, starting it up, picking Make Movie in there, selecting Cartoon Classics as the theme, making a scene replacing the default background with one that's a red screen, essentially, because red screens tend to work better for me unless the character I'm working with has some red on them. Then I use a green screen. Either way, it took a while for me to decide what arm to get for Kate to make as a custom prop using the snipping tool. And then for Luna, pick as I use a combination of the transparent background tool and the eraser tool to remove everything that wasn't the arm. Which, according to my best recall, I got from the I got it from one of what ended up being a total of maybe a dozen or so. Actions for the Cartoon Classics character I designate as Kate in the Dan Hamming series. It's supposed to be an arm and a hand lying flat. Like you might position it if you were lying down. After I successfully made the custom prop, which took a few tries since I made the eraser tool, the erase scenes with this while I was sitting on my bed, as I usually do when working on the Dan Hamming series or doing anything else on my laptop most of the time. I put the prop into Camtasia 2019. Essentially replacing a prop, a custom Kate arm prop I made anywhere from months to a year ago. Initially, I set out to make the new arm prop because I thought maybe I made the initial one too small because Kate was positioned the arm was positioned this way instead of this way. But as I found that making the new prop didn't fix the scaling issues, that I felt initially, I just found that I preferred the new arm prop to the old one. I felt that it fit better with essentially showing that Kate moved in her sleep like we tend to do, but we just don't really notice it because we're asleep at the time. As of now, I'm almost done with the new styrofoam drawing. I'm pretty close to finishing it. For it, I decided to go with a light blue jacket with a darker blue border. I haven't yet done the inside shirt. And bright blue, basically the default blue, colored pants with basically zippable pockets like these, essentially. Which is something I tend to do pretty often for my styrofoam drawings if I don't give them button pockets. Which is the more traditional kind of pocket. This is a pretty good hard-boiled egg. When Mom came home from work today, as she was driving home, I got out the refined Wegmans pizza dough and washed the circular pizza pan. I get the sense it wasn't really used for making the pizza, but we didn't have spaghetti sauce, for the pizza, so mom improvised by using a combination of Campbell's tomato soup, and Texas hot sauce. On her half, she put on roasted garlic, and she didn't for my half. We made the pizza very late today. The pizza was pretty good. And a definite improvement over the last attempt at cooking a pizza, which was when she simply put a pre-made pizza from Wegmans into the oven. Though most of the improvement came from this time she didn't accidentally overcook the pizza. The previous pizza was still edible, but it wasn't as enjoyable as this new pizza she made from scratch.